Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is BestInSlot back with another mod spotlight for Jurassic World Evolution, and we are yet again returning to the brilliant work of Jagged Fang Designs. At this point, I'm just going to do a bloody Jagged Fang Designs park because it would be filled with some of the best dinosaurs the game has ever seen. Now, today's dinosaur is a little special for me. My favourite dinosaur, the most beautiful thing I ever saw, my favourite dinosaur as a kid, Alan Grant's favourite dinosaur as a kid, and the woman who was on the Critivo stream for Prehistoric Kingdom, it was her favourite dinosaur as well. What was her name again? Karen. Her name was Karen. I remember because we made Karen jokes. Right! By Jagged Fang Designs then, this is Triceratops Prorsus. Anyway, it's not Triceratops horridus, which is the typical Triceratops you may see around. And it's basically beautiful. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Saurian Triceratops in some ways, I think, in the colour scheme and the patterning. But my god, look at that thing. Let's stop it right there and take a closer look. So this is Triceratops Prorsus. Prorsus. It's P-R-O-R-S-U-S. I'm terrible at it. There's only two species of Triceratops. There's horridus and there's this. And I would say horridus is definitely the more common of the species. Really, the only major difference between the two kind of comes over here at the front. Prorsus means forward-facing, and it's because I think of the nasal horn here is longer in the Prorsus, and I believe the beak is a little longer as well in the Prorsus rather than horridus. The two horns up here, however, in the Prorsus are actually meant to be shorter. These are actually quite long, but in the Prorsus over horridus, those two top horns tend to be shorter in length. Other than that, they're very, very similar dinosaurs in a lot of ways. Let's just, can we just appreciate the frill more than anything else? That beautiful, milky, coffee-looking patterning with the great scale design and everything like that. And it looks like a proper Triceratops, which makes it look a little funky because Triceratops is a funky-looking dinosaur in reality. But the way the frill kind of dips down like this and skirts up like a milky coffee tidal wave, and then, you know, we've got the little indent over here in the skull, and it drops down into the long, proper beak, and a big old nose. Big old nose. Very skinny head, don't you, buddy? And then, of course, we've got the osteoderms. I was about to say, I don't remember the name. The osteoderms across the back. It's a little bit blurry, the texture, along the back, I would say, but generally speaking, from any sort of distance, that is a beautiful-looking Triceratops. And they messaged me yesterday teasing me about it before it got released. It's my favourite dinosaur as a kid, and it's still my favourite dinosaur. Others have appeared to fight for the crown. Therizinosaurus, Utyrannus, Cryolophosaurus. There's several dinosaurs now competing, but Triceratops was always my boy, my girl, or whatever it wants to be. And there it is. A beautiful, realistic, that's really the key point. These ones are much less Jurassic Parkified. Now, if you want to play Jurassic Park, then you want to play Jurassic Park. But if you want to play with realistic dinosaurs, if you want to play with dinosaurs that more closely resemble what the dinosaur would have looked like, then Jagged Fang Designs have you covered. Now, we do have two different skins. I made 500 of them just in case. But there should be at least two different skins in total. Look at that frill. It's interesting how the frill design resembles a lot of modern creatures, birds in particular. Obviously, the link between Triceratops and birds would be a lot less than, say, you know, theropods and birds, but still, you could see a design just like that on many common modern birds. You know, when they lift up the tail feathers and it would have this bright display on it, whether it's to ward off predators, whether it's to attract a mate, whether it's to just look cool when you're bopping moves at the discotheque, as the cool kids do, you know? Yeah, there we go. So there's our second skin. It's a little bit lighter in shading. We've got this mottled. Oh, that looks so good from a distance as well. Look at him. That's amazing. Got this mottled white look, the really white underbelly. I've talked about this a lot of times, but I'll continue to bring it up for people who don't know. This is a technique that a lot of animals developed, and still modern animals, most fish for example, called counter shading, where your darker skin tone is on the top and the lighter skin tone, the lighter skin tone is on the lower reaches, as you can see with the white skin here on the Triceratops. And the reason for that is when the sun is beating down on you, it kind of evens them out and therefore makes you blend into the background a little bit more. I do prefer the original skin, I think, but they're still both pretty cool. I like the frill on this one. It really highlights that patterning. It's got a kind of I mean, that to me looks kind of like bone, like fingers. You can see these like individual digits or individual bones in the digits stretching across. Spooky. And it actually looks like a different pattern just because of how the colours and the saturations and the highlighting have been played with, which is really cool. I'm going to give them some food so they don't die. I'm just a nice person like them. What can I say? And we're going to pop out the others. They should all be the same skin from this point. I think there is only 2 skins. Yeah, so this is the white one again. We'll pop them all out and we'll see. I did make one of every pattern. This does replace the default Jurassic World Triceratops, so you can still use this. And, well, how does it work with the 93 edition? I have no idea, actually. Probably replaces that as well. But it replaces the default Jurassic World. Oh, they are different. Huh. Look, this one's got like a red... It says on the mod page that there's only 2 skins, but there's clearly not. There's clearly at least 3. Is that one new? That one's new as well. Look, the difference is minor between these two, but this one's got a slight more yellowish tone. You can see it particularly in the frill, actually. Between the white, that brown bit is like really highlighted, sort of orangey yellow rather than sort of the darker browns over here. This one's got some red tones going on. Maybe what they mean is there's like 2 basal patterns, and then these are all alternate versions of this one. Which would make a lot of sense. But there they are. There's our little Triceratops herd. I like to think you're the alpha, even though you're the only one without a skin. Just because you're the only one who doesn't have this big old bony frill thing going on. Let's just hop in and enjoy them for a second, eh? I know this isn't necessarily going to be the most exciting one for a lot of people, because it's a Triceratops at the end of the day, but it was my favourite dinosaur. And she's beautiful, and she deserves all the love in the world, don't you? That means yes, I do in Triceratops. She may be beautiful, but she's got a hell of an ego on her, I'll tell you that much. The long beak is slightly weird. It's realistic, don't get me wrong, but it's always an odd thing, because I think a lot of modern depictions of dinosaurs, well, and unmodern ones, but just mainstream media depictions of dinosaurs tend to de-emphasize things like the beak. You know, it doesn't look cool, inverted commas, so it tends to be left off. You can see also, if I had to guess, the body's been raised up. I feel like the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park Triceratops is very hunched down to the ground. It's very chunky and very like a walking potato kind of thing going on. This one, the legs are much more extended, which I remember seeing in Saurian's one and thinking, huh, interesting. I love that one. Doesn't that look great? Look at it. Isn't it so cool? Sorry, I'm excited. I'm fanboying a little bit over here. It's my favourite dinosaur. Now all I need is a good Uteranus mod. That's all I'm asking for, a good Uteranus mod. Right, okay, so, well, we can't just look at the dinosaurs forever, although I probably could. We need to see how it fares in combat. We can't really release it and let it murder people, because it doesn't do that kind of thing. It's a good boy, good girl. But we can release a Giga and see what happens. And so we shall. Our classic Giga there. Remember when the Giga was tiny? That was so long ago now. What was that, like a year and a half ago or something? If you maybe weren't playing Evolution back then or whatever, at release, the Tyrannosaurus Rex was literally twice the size of the Giganotosaurus. Literally twice the size. It was a little bit nuts. I need to get rid of your food. Are we going in combat? Looks like they might be squaring up a little bit. Oh, so it's my OG as well. Lovely stuff. Wait, are you two fighting? Oh, they're fighting for dominance. That's not good. That's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's hop into capture mode. We'll go a little bit low on that. There we go. Now, I will admit, I've rigged the deck a little bit here. I did buff up the Triceratopses so that they would win this fight. In theory. Oh, it looks so good. Let's go slow motion. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oof. Those horns look absolutely brutal. Wow, you've dominated this fight, haven't you? That took no time at all. Oh, Giga, I'm so sorry. You were born and then murdered 2 seconds later. It was never my intention. Well, it sort of was, but that's not the point. I'm going to try to move the camera less. I know I moved the camera too much. Zoom out a little bit. Should be the kill any second now. I just noticed how it's got like a lighter inside the mouth. Not a lighter. The inside of the mouth and the tongue is much lighter as well. It's not red as well. It's like white. It's interesting. Ducks underneath. Dives upwards, jams those horns through the neck of the Giga. jams them up again. Giga stretches all weirdly. The Triceratops stretches all weirdly, as it always bloody does in this game. They never quite nailed the Ceratopsid animations, did they? There we go. Look at that absolute stunner. I need a thumbnail. There we go. Now eat, feast. There was discussions of Triceratops being being omnivorous. But then again, I think every herbivorous dinosaur's had that discussion. I don't know how many of you remember Wildlife Park. Was it Wildlife Park 3 or 2 that did it? One of them had a carnivorous Pachycephalosaurus in a way. Let's put it that way. And these discussions do tend to get shut down pretty quickly. Well done, pal. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Triceratops Prorsus. It must be Pro, right? Prorsus. Prorsus. We're going to go with Prorsus. Annoying name, but our forward-pointing Triceratops are one of only 2 Triceratops species. And again, I'm glad that it wasn't Horridus. Horridus is great, but it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Anyways, brilliant mod, as you'd expect from Jagged Fang Designs. Go check out this beautiful Triceratops, linked down below in the description. I will see you lovely folks next time. Thanks for joining me. Cheers much love as always. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for much more of this kind of malarkey. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.